Sudha Live. Thank you for joining me. For those of you who are joining from here in Silicon Valley, for wrapping up the week, Fridays with me, and for those of you in Asia who are diligently waking up and still tuning in, I appreciate that. So I'm back streaming from Restream directly from the studio because I had some issue when I tried to do a live stream straight from Zoom. I don't know what happened exactly because I seem to be doing that right. I had my Wednesday weekly WED, which is the global speaker series where my students come together and we have a speaker. And Parya did the live from there, and it just went through. So I don't know what I'm doing differently, and occasionally I'm running into this. It's very interesting. I had a meeting with. The EMBA consortium, which is EMBA consortium, and 7 different colleges from Bologna, Peru, Munich, Japan, South Africa. I might be missing somebody. Met in San Jose State at their Lucas School of Business, where I was called in along with a couple other people to teach them about generative AI for business. That was my topic. They had a variety of different topics because this was an international week. And the students are executive MBA students, which means they're all business leaders from interested in digital transformation or innovation in some form in various different industries. And I started out, I always do this instead of starting with generative AI and how it generates. My favorite question is how AI is different and it is trained with data compared to past technologies, which means in the past when a tool of software of some kind has been built, if you find a bug, it is following the same steps and it has to give the same bug, same reaction every single time. And with AI, it is creating this experience, it's creating the output and the prediction running through a different path in its neural network every single time, so it's not the same experience. So even if I engage with the same AI again, or if I engage with an AI and say this looks good, which I'm going to show you, because my role here is as a technology futurist is to sift through what's out there and bring you interesting AI opportunities and market analysis. But when I show you something and you go back, try it, it's a different path that the AI is going to go through. So your experience is not going to be the same as mine, technically. But for the most part, it should when somebody's launched something into production, at least if it is not biased. So that's the premise of it. So why am I saying all that? Because I was not thinking about it. I said that to the class because I want them to understand about AI confusion matrix, that AI is not always giving you the right answer. There is bias in it and all that. And then we got into the good stuff about generative AI. And I've been testing out my new workshop on how do you bring uh, your product features, map it with the customers you want, and map it. I'm trying to create a triangle in my hand, if you can see that. And how do you map it to generative AI features? And I told you about this last week, and so we kind of have been doing that. But because I got this experience with Restream behaving one way, sometime another way, another time, I just want to know what am I doing wrong, or if you're an expert out there, I would like to, get some help. So I appreciate that. Okay, so for now, we are good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you stuff that I've lined up to show you. And this week, I think there was a closed room Senate hearing with a whole bunch of technology companies and labor leaders. And we don't know what happened. We haven't gotten regulation in US. And it was, when I, especially in an international setting where I interact with people, this whole thing of AI innovation and regulation being at each other is the message and the PR version of that I keep hearing about. But AI is pervasive. I traveled to Asia 3 weeks back. I'm going to be traveling to Barcelona and Venice 2 weeks out from now. So you're going to get the Europe version of it, at least the Southern Europe version of it. Um, I want to go to Nigeria. So I'm waiting for an opportunity to come up because I've never been to the African continent, and I've been to Brazil and Chile only in Latin America. So, there is AI everywhere, and there is so much innovation happening, and everybody's trying to solve for local problems. So one of the projects that I've been talking to you about in the same connection is Global South in AI, which is my nonprofit that I co-founded with Susanna Raj, and we had a call out. So thank you, everybody. The call is closed, and we were looking for how generative AI is used in a good way, bad way, or new applications. And we got a lot of research. And our promise here is, if you're not a researcher, if you're in the Global South, if you're working with Global South languages, we will help you publish research, bring posters with your ideas to New RIPS conference in New Orleans by December. And so we are very excited to sift through all the different applications. So if you have submitted for Global South in AI, and the site is globalsouthinai.org, you can see all the posters from last time, but you'll have to wait patiently, or you can come chat with us in our Slack group. But we're sifting through that. And we might come back to you and ask you questions and stuff, but we'll see what languages are covered, how many applications from which country, and we haven't done that fully. So very excited. But thank you, everybody, especially here. I had people who promised that they will reach out to their counterparts in Japan. I was asking for more submissions from Latin America. So I'm very pleased by the breadth of ideas and diversity of submissions that's come through. So I'll be sharing that with you in a little bit, not immediately. Uh, the one sad thing that happened was there is a earthquake in Morocco, and it was even buried in my news. You know how everything we see and experience in news is kind of self-fulfilling based on what we select. So it was very sad to see that um, there was a earthquake in Morocco, and it was not even like bubbled up uh, in my LinkedIn profile or anywhere else, you know. So that was very sad. Okay, I'm going to, I don't know if I go away from this window, whether, it becomes dark and you cannot see my screen. I don't know. That happened when I did this with the mobile. So bear with me. So what I'm trying to do here is there is an amazing lady. I'm going to show her that. So first of all, I feel very sad about the people who have been affected by the earthquake in Morocco. And I saw the numbers. Latest numbers was like 3,000 people who have been impacted. Um, Not 3,000 people are dead. 10,000 people are missing. It's a huge number. So I have not seen anything about where we can donate and how we can help. So if you have legitimate links that you're seeing where we can help, I would appreciate if you can share that. And this is live streamed to YouTube and LinkedIn, and I'm watching the LinkedIn, so you can add a comment, and I'm happy to share that with my newsletter. So everything that we are sharing here and discussing today will go to my newsletter, the Jamthe newsletter. So but there are people who just come to the LinkedIn and watch this later also, because I come back and answer questions. So I'll appreciate if you can do that. And I was telling you, there was an amazing lady who inspired me. And one of the things I'm looking for is like, who's doing what, and how can I bring that to you. And so I'm like constantly looking out for it all week long, and this came across my way. One second, let me see that window. One second. Because I'm doing it from Restream, so it's a little clunky on how I get to that. So bear with me. And I believe, and somebody has to tell me again how I can share my screen and still be visible, which of the selection that I need to do from the bottom. I don't know that. But right now I'm just going to stick with whatever is here, and I'm going to show you. I'm just going to share my screen. Entire screen. Here we go. I don't even know what it is going to show. Okay. I believe you're going to be seeing me back again. Okay. So I hope you're seeing this window of Kala Founder, Kala Funder Funk. Kala Funk, I believe. That's how I'm pronouncing your name. So correct me if it is not wrong. There's an Indian name called Kala, so I don't know if it is the same, but Kala is the name. And this is an amazing soul. This was their first trip to Africa, and especially to Maracay, where the quake has hit people. And they debated, because this happened the night before their flight, and they debated that they should just leave Portugal and head back to straight to Spain, but decided that they will go. And this was their picture from there, and it was amazing to to look at the people, the culture, and the community, and the resilience of them. So this was amazing, because when we are looking at the earthquake and number of people dead, and we are seeing sad pictures of the same place, I wanted to bring somebody who was a good soul, who said that it is important for the community to rebuild, that we continue to go for tourism, and she did that. And I do want to know where we can go and contribute. So I'll appreciate that. Okay, where else? I don't know if I have it in sequence, but I'm going to just go random. Let me see. These are like people who inspired me in the week. This is Dr. Jennifer King, and Dr. King is part of Stanford's HAI, the Human Centered Artificial Intelligence Center. Dr. King has been appointed to the California Department of Justice's working group on children's data protection. When we hear about oh, there is not enough regulation, and what is happening, and it's very easy to feel skeptic, and think about it in a very linear way. But here is Dr. King, and who's going to work with the Department of Justice working group of children's data protection, and she's going to protect children data, and their experience is in data privacy. And so we can definitely count on children's online safety. So congratulations, Dr. Jennifer King. What else do we have? Oh, Susan Edlinger has started a new job as Senior Director Strategy and Thought Leadership at Azure AI and Microsoft. Susan has worked with me in the past, and has a pulse on the market, and has done some fantastic research. So I would look for what's coming next from Susan. Uh, Maybe I should just go in some random sequence instead of just congratulating people. So here is Kala, who went to Morocco. So I'm just going to close that window. Somebody tell me you're able to see the screen. You're able to see what I'm sharing here properly, because I want to make sure that you are seeing what I'm seeing. Okay, I'm going to come back, share my entire screen. Yes, somebody please tell me this is working, because this is the live stream window that you're going to see. You're sharing your screen. Okay, thank you. And when I do that, okay, I'm coming back. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. I'm sharing my window. Let me see if that works better. So can you guys please acknowledge that you're seeing what I'm seeing? When I'm sharing my screen, it is still showing my face here for me. Not happy, guys. I'm not happy with this. Okay. So here I'm going to go to LinkedIn, where you are watching the live stream, and see whether I can. Okay. Are you able to see? This is my Zoom window, I believe. I'll close that. Okay, I need somebody to give me feedback. Somebody to tell me what you're seeing. And I need to see that in the LinkedIn chat. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm doing. It feels like I'm talking to myself. That's not good. Not good at all. Talking to ourselves can be a good thing. Okay. So I hope you saw Kala um, when I was sharing from the Morocco, the person who went to Morocco. So I don't know if you're seeing that, guys. Okay, I'm going to go back, try and share my screen again. Here, I'm going to try a different setting. And I want to know from what you're seeing, especially you need to give me resources and links, right? Of what we are, um, especially for the Morocco one, I want to see resources from you. Okay, so sorry, I'm a little distracted because I'm trying to get to share the window or the entire screen. Okay, I'm just going to do this one tab at a time, so doesn't matter. So let's see. I wanted to give you weekly bets. I'm going to go to that. I'm going to share. So I think it's easy to share a tab, but I wanted a way to share everything in one go with you. Okay. So now I'm sure you're seeing this. Thank you, everybody who acknowledged and hung around with me patiently while I'm like fidgeting around different tabs. So what you're seeing here is bit.ly/weekly wed list. This is the weekly wed speaker series, and here's the archive. So if you just want to go back and see the past, you can do that. Or if you did weekly wed registration, you can get into the Zoom link. Why would you want to get into the Zoom link when you can just come and watch the archive? Aha, I got something exciting for you. um, this week we turned on the AI assistant option from Zoom, and it sent a nice summary of weekly wed. So Paria sends out a newsletter. This is Paria, if you're able to see her face right on the left here. And Pamela Gupta was our guest, who's the expert on cybersecurity and generative AI. She's part of NIST and advises the US government on cybersecurity. So we got a beautiful summary, and Paria is going to send that in the weekly wed newsletter to you to see what the AI told us. So it's like a text version of the summary of the weekly wed. So we're going to try that few more times. So it's going to give you a snippet of this. Here we go. I'm going to skip through. Sorry, I want to get to the. Okay, this is what I was. Okay, so You get the idea. This was an amazing, amazing, amazing session. You got to come back and see it. So we this is bit.ly/weekly wed playlist, and it's right on my YouTube. So if you just want to follow that along, and we got the transcript of that. I'm going to put it in the newsletter. So if you follow my newsletters anywhere, you're going to get that. Okay, so I'm going to stop this window. So I'm going to kind of doing this the old fashioned way. Stop a window, close it, come back, and that's what I'm doing. um, so the next thing I want to share with you, uh, you want to know the newsletter? Okay, just give me a minute. I get to close windows. If you ask me questions, I do that, and then I can move on and close windows. That makes my life so much easier. um, let's see. You were asking about the regular newsletter. Okay, I'll do that. I'll show that. So this is bit.ly/Jamthe newsletter. This is my main newsletter, which has all the links that I'm sharing here today. And it goes out. And if you don't want to sign up, if you want to sign up, it'll send you a mail with the latest one on Monday evening here, our time in California. Or you can go back and look at all the archives. This is where I will add all the links to more jobs and events and stuff instead of just parroting the list to you, right? So you'll get more than what we are sharing here. Okay, so thank you for asking that. So here we go. What else have I got? I told you about Susan Ettlinger. I told you about Dr. Jennifer. Oh, an interesting event happened, and there are amazing people who did some amazing things. So I was telling you about how I was part of the San Jose State Lucas School of Business, and this is the team. Thank you to Professor Mahesh Rajan, and here are my students. And we had this fun 4-hour session about generative AI. I'm somewhere in here. This is the group. This is Professor Vanafa. He spoke about top 15 trends. As a technology futurist, it was exciting for me. And there's me and my class and generative AI for business. So we had a bunch of topics and amazing set of students. And I hope those of you who are watching this from this group, you will connect with me. And I hope we can continue the conversation as you take this back to your companies, to your countries, to do amazing stuff. Okay. Oh, it's a nice picture with Lucas College and Graduate School of Business showing in the background. I could not get a nice picture like that, but this is fantastic. So thank you. So that was one I wanted to share. I'm going to like that. I'm actually going to show love to that. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing that window. Bonaventure did something amazing. Do you remember Bonaventure? Let me find Bonaventure, what he was doing. Let me find that. So I do have to show you a demo of an interesting thing that launched this week. But let me show you what Bonaventure was doing. So Bonaventure was our keynote speaker at Global South in AI at NeurIPS. We launched Global South in AI at NeurIPS last year, and he opened up for us, and he was our speaker. He's a fantastic AI researcher. So Bonaventure was at an amazing event called Deep Learning in Daba, and he talked about epistemic uncertainty to iteratively adapt automatic speech recognition models on low resource African languages. I mean, said this before. There's a whole group of people in Lanfrica and Masakane who are building amazing stuff in the AI, natural language, LLM world focused on African languages. And the other thing is, so in my YouTube, if you go to the same link I was sharing earlier, in my YouTube, you can actually find Bonaventure's explaining his model and presenting it at NeurIPS from last year. So he seems to have won 2 posters as the best poster award. and he's very big on sharing his knowledge. So here is his presentation. So congratulations, Bonaventure. This is awesome. Keep rocking, keep rocking. I love your work. Okay. So I've come back, old-fashioned way, sharing one window at a time. Showed you Bonaventure. There is another amazing person. I don't know if this is going to show me that window or not. Let me find that. Um, so I told you about Susan Ittlinger. I showed you Jennifer King. I hope you saw that. I hope we did not miss it. I want to share it again because I'm a big fan of Dr. Jennifer King, and I'm looking forward to Dr. King's work on making, protecting children's data and making the online world safe for kids. So I really appreciate that. Congratulations, Dr. Jennifer King. And Dr. King is going to be part of the working group on children's data protection, advising the California Department of Justice. So that's fantastic. So here we go. So there is one more person, and this person is one of my favorite persons. Um I don't know if you can guess, because I like all my students. I keep bragging about my students. This person is not my student, but somebody in the NLP world who's now in the whole AI voice world doing amazing stuff. And I've had some fun questions when they came to IoT Day and talked to us. Can you guess who that is? Let me see. The window's opening up. Yes. Tejumade Afonja. Congratulations. So Teju was in the same event, maybe. Yes, deep learning in Daba. And looks like they have a lot of fun. They had a lot of fun. So you can see that. And this happened in Ghana, and Teju was also co-organizing the Indaba and the Trust AI workshop. So they're sharing their work. I would follow Teju's research, and Teju's come and spoken at IoT Day and helped us understand when we say there is bias in data, can we just like throw the data, start afresh, and then we end up introducing new bias? So how do we create a better world? So there's this bigger discussion on, should AI just take what is out there in the world, as training data, which is what the large language models are doing, and then it propagates the bias and it takes us to the past? And should we actually be creating new data sets and training AI to a whole new world of the future the way we want it? And Teju was explaining she wants a better future, but it's not as easy as just injecting, what we see as unbiased, bias mitigating data into an existing data set. So she starts with one use case at a time, generates new content, new data, and builds models. And uh, she's amazing. Her work is amazing. She's a brilliant researcher. So you should follow her. Teju Made. I always say this to people: when you hear a name that's not a norm, not normal in your circle, it's very easy to kind of tune out and not try to remember that name. But that person might be the one who has the next brilliant opportunity in your life, or opens the door for something amazing, or could be your new boss, or you never know. So I would say Tejumade Afonjai, you have to learn her spelling and follow her, because she's changing the world and you cannot ignore her. So congratulations, Teju. Who else have I got here? So uh, we had like the time 100. I did share that on my LinkedIn. I did not find a lot of people from the global south in there, so that's kind of, or even some amazing people from Europe were missing on that link. So that is sad. uh, ah there is another amazing set of women who are driving change in the world of AI. and that is Women in AI USA. And they have come up, they're very, very, very meticulous. These are brilliant women who work in various different industries. So this is the Women in AI North America Awards. They have worked for many, many months with people nominating different people for the awards. And so they have something they call as the special jury recognition. So when somebody makes a nomination, they put them in one category or the other. These 11 people are people who are winners, the 11 winners in the special jury recognition, and they're getting this Women in AI award, but they don't fit one category or the other. And you can guess I don't fit in one category because I do so many things. So you can see I'm right here. And I'm honored to be in amazing company. Whoever nominated me, thank you. I'm honored to be in this company. So congratulations. Let me read out who these people are. You should follow every one of them. So Ariana Gomez is CEO of Technology for Impact Mexico. Elisa Strom is Executive Director Pan Canadian AI Strategy for CIFAR Canada. Elizabeth M. Adams is the Scholar Practitioner EMA Advisory Services from US. Fionn Lee Madan is a co-founder and COO of Fairly AI from Canada. Humaira Malik is CEO of Canvas AI. It's Canvas with a double S. Laura Safdi is the CEO and General Counsel of Case Text from US. Laz Elena Gonzalez is Projects and Communications Director, PIT Policy Lab. I don't know what is PIT Policy Lab. I'm going to check that out. That's from Mexico. Uh, Melike Iros Kantarsi is Professor and Chief AI ML Data Scientist from Ericsson and University of Ottawa. Regina Cervera is a projects coordinator from C Minds Mexico. Saloni Pochdar is senior AI ML manager from Apple from US, and me, Sudha Jamthe, technology futurist from Global South in AI. And they have a total of 103 women trailblazers. What they've done is who have made it to the top list, and these 11 of us are the special uh, jury recognition winners. There's going to be a one winner that they're going to pick from 95 other women who are going to be there in the event, and it's going to be such a huge event and gala on October 18th as part of the Big Data and AI conference in Toronto. So if you want some inspiration, follow these women. If you can make it, show up, go there, have fun. So congratulations, everybody. I'm so honored to be in your company. And thank you for the amazing work. I will try and bring the various different category finalists. The 95 women come under various different categories. We are the ones, right, who are the square pegs in the round hole. But there are others who fit in various categories. I'm going to bring one category at a time. Rest of the weekly wait till we get there. So that's my plan. Okay. What else do I have? Women in AI, I showed you that. Um, so prompt injection was a word that was used by Pamela Gupta at Weekly Ved, and prompt engineering is a very, very hot topic. Robert Schwenkter had come to Weekly Ved and had presented a webinar. Now that webinar is available as a free course, so you can sign up and you can get a certificate on prompt engineering 101. So that is available. So Pariya has put together a newsletter called Prompt Engineering Newsletter. And here is the bit.ly/prompt underscore engineering underscore webinar. I hate underscores in names, but you cannot make a big blob prompt engineering webinar as one word. So this is the best we could do. So if you sign up, you get the prompt engineering newsletter, and here you can see the archive. So I think 2 different issues have gone out, 2 weeks so far. So you can learn what is prompt engineering. You can learn, I believe the word of the week is prompt injection. If you want, you can follow the whole webinar and get a certificate. And each week we are going to be introducing a new term in the prompt engineering world. Let me check. Oh my God. Yes, I'm not sharing my screen. Sorry about that, guys. I'm going to go back. Here we are. I'm not going to repeat the whole thing. So, um, so here, if you, so bit.ly/prompt underscore engineering underscore webinar, here we are. And you can get the webinar right here from the past recording. It's available as a course for getting a certificate. And you can sign up for the newsletter, or you can sign up for this right here, and you can learn something new in the exciting new world of prompt engineering. I think prompt engineering has evolved into a whole job function by itself. So it'll be interesting to see where that takes you. But if that's interesting for you, your cup of tea, you should do that. And I think I showed you my students who I visited at Lucas School of Management. I hope that was visible for you to see. Um, one last thing, I've been like kind of struggling going across different tabs. This is not fun. I need to figure out how to share my screen right um, from Zoom next time. Okay, so I'm going to show this screen back again with Professor Mahesh, since some of you missed that. Um, I'll actually include that in the newsletter, guys. I don't want to go back to that. I need to show you something very exciting. Let me see. Okay, thank you for asking. Why do I have to disappoint you? Here's my students list. I'm going to show you that. This is the San Jose State Lucas School of Management, the executive MBA group of students, and everybody who was talking, presenting, and I did 4 hours of generative AI. And there's me and my students. So thank you, thank you, Professor Mahesh Rajan. I appreciate you bringing me into this amazing group of students. I appreciate that. Okay. I've said my thank yous and shared most of the links that I wanted to show. Now I'm going to get to the last one. And before that, I just want to clear it because one of the announcements today. So one of the things, other than my thank yous and what's happening in the industry, I like to bring an analysis of what is happening. So in the world of autonomous vehicle, I've done courses on autonomous vehicle. In fact, my generative AI workshop that I'm going to do, I have a Think Like an Innovator workshop focused on automotive industry that I'm going to do in Italy. Why am I saying that? It looked like there was a lot of consolidation and a lot of startups kind of went missing in the autonomous vehicle space. But this week I found out Argo. Remember Argo? Argo founders are launching a whole new autonomous trucking startup, which means they got funding. And so that space is not gone. And there's tons of data in autonomous vehicles. So if you go to businessschoolofai.com, it links to my courses, archives, on-demand courses. And I have a bunch of, there's an autonomous vehicle masterclass that I did with David Kerrigan. There is value creation from data, from connected vehicles, bunch of them, digital twins, all this in the AV space. So if that's your thing, those are my on-demand courses. The live ones that I'm planning are purely in the generative AI space and prompt engineering from Robert. AI ethics in generative AI space is a topic that we are building up content, and I want to see what the response is. I also heard that Google.org has launched a Digital Futures Project, which is a $20 million AI focused grant, the grant for think tanks and academic institutions. The grant is not yet out. So I'll keep you posted because I have calls, I have jobs, events, all of them that I put out in the newsletter, and I bring it to you here at Sudha Live. I want to share one exciting thing that I saw this week. But before that, yes, jobs I saw. Salesforce Office of Ethical and Human Use Policy. That's a mouthful, but they are the AI ethics team, headed by Rachel Gilliam. And they have 3 jobs. One is a senior manager, special projects, strategic response. Location is US. There's a senior manager content safety, which is also a year's job. Then there's a senior manager operations, and the location could be Dublin or London. They're flexible to that. So that looks very exciting. And I've tracked this team. I've tracked every single person who has worked with them, who got hired by them, what kind of things they publish. This is legit. I don't know them personally. Like I've said many, many times, I'm not affiliated with Salesforce or any brand that I'm talking about here, but I would follow Rachel and her team and go check out these jobs. If you are into AI ethics or into AI policy in some form, because this is Salesforce Office of Ethical and Humane Use Policy. Okay. So good luck. And I will add this in the LinkedIn in the comment. And I will also put it in the Jamthe newsletter, bit.ly/Jamthe newsletter. Okay, so the exciting thing I saw was from a news was from Adobe, and instead of just telling you the new product launch, again, I have no affiliation with Adobe. I played with it, and I want to show you that. You've seen me in my classes with generative AI. I try to do scribble diffusion and try to show scribble something and see what it builds up. I believe I did one of that exercise for the class for my class I did last just now with San Jose State also. I don't have that window open, so you can see what I could have scribbled. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you Adobe's Firefly. But before that, I want to read out something that popped up in my news, and I have like a little quiz for you. So the article said, this is about AI ethics, and they said, Finnish startup Met, Metroc.ai, ROC, METROC.ai, partners with prisons to refine their LLM, large language models, through interactive dialogues with inmates, a strategy inspired by the philosophy of each one, teach one. So, if you're looking at this, you would say, hey, they are engaging inmates in some form and they are the good guys, right? What do you think they are really doing here? So don't go to, this is not cheating time. So don't go to Metrac.ai because I'm sure their PR will also sound similar, flowery thing. They're working with prisoners. They're refining LLM models. They have some dialogues, that chat that they're interacting, collecting from the prisoners. And then the strategy is inspired by the philosophy of each one, teach one. I don't know what that means. So what do you think they really are doing? Have you heard the word click workers? So these are poor workers in some faraway countries where they are paid like $1 or less than $2, and they are made to annotate content. So this startup has engaged prisoners to do the annotation of text. And what are they building? They are helping construction companies find newly approved building projects. That's what they're paid for. That's their project. But they are teaching LLMs to chat, and they're doing annotations by making the prisoners contribute to this at less than $2. So wanted to put it out there because when we talk about AI ethics and we talk about responsible AI and trustworthy AI, we just get into the tech and the data and we kind of forget the human aspect of it. So Susanna Raj had shared that when you build LLMs, there is a cost to running the LLMs. There's a climate cost to running the LLMs, and we've had discussions when we're thinking about generative AI. I do not want to be that person who's excited and gives you tools and techniques and teaches you stuff to go do things in your job and not not make you think about the power that you got. Just because you can do this, what are you doing? And so here, these are click workers. They're contributing to this. There's been a lot of articles and stuff written about this whole click workers. But I just didn't like the way this article was worded. making it sound like a big altruistic exercise when they're click workers. I'm fine if they say they use prisoners as click workers, paid them $1.5, and they annotated some text for some commercial LLM models, but that's not how this was written. So there's also another problem of news uh, presenting a different sentiment than the real story here. Okay, now I'm going to come to Firefly because Adobe has launched Firefly. Um, I should show you actually how Adobe markets that and shows the um, how it is generative AI, what the different features and everything. Okay, so first let me show that window again. I have no affiliation with Adobe, but I love this. I like the way they are thinking about this, and they have been very clear that they are going to be um, doing this very respectfully because there are designers who use Adobe Photoshop and their platforms. And so when they are adding generative AI, they are making sure that it is transparent where they've got the training data. They're adding a lot of features. So they have this thing called text effect, generative fill. Text to image is the prompt engineering piece. You prompt and get an image like I've shown with Scribble Diffusion. So they're basically saying here you can do a generative fill, use a brush to remove the objects or paint in a new one. This is text to image. I'm going to show that. This is the generating creative piece. You can have like text effects. I have actually showed you about a month's time back. One of our speakers at Weekly Ved had showed this text effect of Firefly when it was still in early stage. Now it's officially launched. Then there's a generative recolor. So you can have color variations of your vector artwork, which I thought was very cool. So this is so here's generative images from interacting position of 3D images, or how you can extend an image. This has been a fascinating research. Now it's wonderful to see that you can change the aspect ratio in a single click. I'm going to use this because my images are very small. Whenever I try to go write a LinkedIn post, I have to have it at a larger aspect ratio, and I don't have it, and I kind of go, oh, I need to go edit it, and I don't end up, publishing that article till I find that image. So this is very cool. Okay, I'm going to show you the real thing now. So I signed up for free. Um, does anybody want to tell me what you would like to see? Um, I'm going to come back, share my window. Yeah, no, I know I'm not sharing my window. So let me see whether I can share my window. Before that, I want to go back to you guys and see the LinkedIn chat so that I can make sure that I am giving you the. Let me see this. I want to make sure that I'm looking at your chats because since I'm sharing one window at a time, I'm not able to see the chats at the same time. So sorry about that. Okay. Okay. Okay, guys. So I'm going to go now to the. I'm going to come back for those of you who are chatting there. I want to show this and then I'm going to wrap up. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to the chat and answer your questions and comments and share the resources. So thank you everybody who has been hanging around as I'm just like jumping from tab to tab. I find that so annoying and I'm sorry I'm just sharing that annoyance with you today. But I really want to be able to share this without sharing one tab at a time. So whatever the secret sauce for that, somebody please tell me. So I will end up doing that. Okay. I'm trying to see whether I can see your window, see you in the window, because like you said, yeah, I can't put myself in the frame somehow. I don't know why, how that is happening. Okay, so once I click to join here, it is going to start talking. So apologies to hear this at the same time. So if you're here, I'm just adding a comment. So feel free to add a comment. I would love to see what you're telling me, ask questions, whatnot. Okay. So I'm going to show you the Adobe Firefly. So I signed up with Adobe Firefly. You can sign up for a free um, profile registration. And one of the things I was showing in my class last in the EMBA consortium, we did the scribble diffusion. So have you been through my classes either on LinkedIn Learning or in at Stanford? I do this exercise of talk to a AI. I think I have that window here, which I did with the previous class. I'll show you that here. Quick draw. Here we go. I'm getting so good at sharing one window at a time, one tab at a time. So it asked me to draw. It asked me to draw a windmill. I drew this. It is lousy. I'm sorry. I'm a lousy uh, doodler. But the AI, the fun is in figuring out what was the AI thinking. So the AI first thought this was a fan. I would give it to the AI on that because I drew it almost like a fan. Then it thought it was a hammer and satellite, and these are all the images that it had in its memory. So this is an exercise I did with Draw with Google for the class, and it was asking me to draw a windmill. So a real windmill should look something like that, right? So what I'm going to do is, why am I sharing that? I'm going to go to the Adobe. Yes, I will, let me come back, share that screen. I've become so good at sharing the screen thing now. Okay. So I had tested this out earlier, a dog on a couch, so you can ignore that. I'm going to say windmill up on a hill. Okay, this is the text to image generation, and we've done that with stable diffusion in Midjourney. I do this doodle one and I show the whole thing to my class. So you end up like you get in Midjourney, you get 4 of these. What else would you guys like to see? Do you want to see sleepy dog? No, I want to show something else. Flying to Mars. Let's see whether it can do it. Because even if you give this to a designer, they're going to use their imagination, right? And come up with something. So it'll be interesting. Very, very interesting. So here are 4 options. I don't know what this flying to Mars, this one is. I don't think I'm happy with this. But this one looks like a spaceship. And so at least they figured out that it was in space. Flying with Mars. So I'm trying to trick it. Let's see where we are going. And so I said flying to Mars. It knew it was space. I said flying with Mars. Okay. Now I'm going to say with Mars candy. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. Okay, that is not Mars chocolate. It is interesting. I hope the Adobe team is seeing this. It's made some candy and then it tried to make it almost like a Mars, like a planet, and here we are. But that is the beauty of language, right? Because whatever we say, it has to be understood in context. There is human knowledge. So I'm sitting in US and I'm saying Mars candy, which means it's Mars chocolate. So but you get the idea. I think Adobe is trying to do this ethically, and building this generative AI as a tool for the designer community, instead of trying to say anybody can be a designer, you just, and AI will generate it. That's not the way they are going about this, and they're ethical, at least. If you remember in Sudha Live, I had showed you the chief trust officer of Adobe talking to Congress about AI copyright law. And last week I'd given you the AI copyright law link from US to add a comment. So if you did. So looks like they're doing this ethically. Again, no affiliation whatsoever with any brand. but I like what I'm seeing. If this is going to be a tool for the designer, for the community who are using Photoshop and the like from Adobe, that is awesome. Adobe also had some video editing tool where in their platform with Adobe Premiere, I believe you can feed a video and it can help with a bunch of editing. I use iMovie for editing, so I don't know the Adobe tool for movie editing, but it can remove the sound when people are talking when you have professional videos, so which I thought was very cool. It's technically doable, but to do it and make it available very seamlessly as a product is brilliant. So with that, I'm going to wrap up and hope you all have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful weekend. Stay safe. And I will see you all at next weekly wed. So bit.ly weekly wed playlist to go back, look at the weekly weds. And you can do a bit.ly weekly wed registration to go register to join the Zoom. And you're going to get the newsletter from Paria with the summary from the AI. So we're going to continue to do that to see where that goes. And the concept of the whole AI assistant is that it can chat with the community within the enterprise, and it can say, "What did I miss in the meeting?" And another interesting thing I saw in the Zoom demo is they were saying, "Was my name mentioned in the meeting?" So I think there's enough psychology in play here from enterprise that is feeding into building the Zoom AI assistant. I heard that Walmart has an AI assistant internally for their associates inside the company. So building a AI assistant using LLM is a thing. I want to try and play with this and do a project. If you are interested, if you're one of a part of my community, either on my Slack or weekly Wednesday, ping me, or you can just reply back to my newsletter. I want to pick something tangible for real and then go deeper and build it. And I teach everything using no code AI. So I will not ask you to write a line of Python or call a JavaScript, an API, or anything else, right? But we're going to build something. And I'm gearing up for a project to teach a set of girls far away somewhere, which I cannot mention right now, in a faraway country, to learn LLMs and how to build intelligent chatbots, build data sets, and machine translation models for their local country in the global south. So that's where my head is at. So that's why I'm focused a lot on LLMs and language models, specifically in generative AI. Adobe, got me excited to show you the image, text to image with prompting, but that's not something that I usually do. But thank you for hanging around with me, and especially when I was kind of, uh, jumping across tabs and vanished. I don't know if you're Harry Potter fans, but if you just vanish away from here and go to another screen, like the portrait in Harry Potter, that'll be cool. But I'm here and I'm just like fidgeting around different tabs is not so cool. So I really appreciate you, finding time to hang around with me or your comments. And especially when I'm fidgeting around, I'm not happy with the tab jumping process. Tab scrolling is what I'm going to call. I appreciate you hanging around with me and continue to stay on with the live stream. So with that, I'm going to wrap up. Have a beautiful weekend. Stay safe. Have fun. I will see you next week at Sudha Live, or I might see some of you at Weekly Wed at 8 a.m. Pacific time. 17-hour in Nigeria, 17-hour in CET in Europe, and noon in Brazil, I believe. And I will see you. Otherwise, I'll see you online, I'm sure. A lot more. We'll continue our conversation. Thank you, everybody. Bye.